everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Helen. I know it has been a long old time, probably about 4 weeks since I've been on. I think the last video I did was my Christmas TBR, which I read a lot of Christmas books, so I have done okay. It's just I haven't felt like filming. Obviously I've been spending a lot of time with my family at Christmas and I've enjoyed that. But I did want to come on because I do enjoy being part of the booktube community, and I'm hoping that in January I will get a lot more motivated to film again. So I thought I'd do one long video with a bit of everything in it to update you and to let you know what my January TBR is. So if I look down, it's because I've got notes, because I haven't done this in a while and I'm going to lose track of where I'm up to. So first things first, I will be having a new book journal for the new year. I have absolutely battered this one, which was just a random journal with lined pages in. I did watch, I think it was Becca Fowler did an unboxing of an owl crate or a furry loot box or one of those, and I saw this journal inside and I just really wanted one of these, so I went on eBay and bought one. So what I liked about it was it's got like I'm not very creative in terms of, I'm creative in terms of ideas, but I don't think I'd be very good at bullet journaling. So I know a lot of people do this kind of spread. I don't know if you can see it, where, well, you can't really see it because of the light, but there's like books, the outline of books on a bookshelf, and you can write in and colour them off. So I liked that idea. This page with goals and plans. I liked that I had an anticipated releases page with like a expense tracker, so I can keep an eye on what I'm spending on books, because I am going to try mostly to read from my library or my library app if I can, and try and get through some of these. I recently counted how many unread books I've got on my TBR, and actual physical books, not the ones on my Kindle or on my Audible subscription, which I haven't got anymore, but I've still got the books on there. I've got 143 unread physical books. And actually, when I put a post on, I think it was Twitter or Instagram, there's only 1 or 2 shelves that I'm like really looking forward to read. So I have to decide if I'm just going to unhaul a lot of the other books, or whether it's just, I just need to give them maybe try a chapter video might be good to see how I feel about them. Because in the past, that's why I use readathons, because readathons make me pick up books that I'm not sure about, and then I have ended up loving some of them. So I don't really want to unhaul all of those, because I think I would like them if I give some of them a go. So there's that. So looking forward to using the new journal. Then bear with me. Oh, at the minute I am finishing off. I've only got today and tomorrow to finish it off, really, if I want to start a new book in January. But I'm doing a reread of The Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. I read all of this series, really enjoyed this one when I think I read it last year. I thought, you know what, I just need some easygoing books. I've done 3 Christmas rereads this year, and I don't normally like rereading. I reread, what did I reread? What Christmas books did I reread? Miracle on Ebenezer Street, The Six Tales of Christmas. They were both for the Hemisphere Christmas Games readathon, and then obviously I'm rereading this. I'm halfway through, so I'm hoping if I read a chunk tonight and then a chunk in the daytime tomorrow, because I'm spending New Year's with my sister and her partner. So I need to get this read, because I really want to start a new book on January the 1st. So that's where I'm up to with that. In terms of my January TBR, I want to do a lot more mood reading this year. I think that's why I've had a reading slump in the latter half of this year, because I hit a lot of books this year. I think I'm on 162 or 163 books read this year, which is great, but I feel like I might be overdoing it. I think I need to aim for 100 books in 2022, aiming for reading maybe about 2 a week. I think I will remember them better, I will think about them more, I'll be able to tell you guys more about them in a wrap up, because I still haven't done an October wrap up, a November wrap up, or a December wrap up. So more mood reading, and January I am only doing 1 readathon, and I think what I'm going to have to do in future is only 1 readathon a month and not every month. So the readathon I'm doing in January is the Goodreads Choice readathon that's run by Sam at Griff Reads. You know, I've met with her this year, which was lovely. She always supports my channel and the things I do, so I want to reciprocate that. And actually, this is quite an open readathon. There are 5 prompts, but the idea is that you read books that have been nominated for the Goodreads Choice Award, and that's what I love about it. Because if it had just been winners, obviously the amount you've got to choose from is a lot less. And actually, a couple of books that I'd selected to read in January for mood reading, ones that I'd wanted to read for a while, actually fit in. So that's perfect. So I will do that first. I will go through what I plan to read for the Goodreads Choice Readathon. I'm not going to say which prompt I'm reading for. I'm hoping that I'll be able to cover the 5 prompts within this. I'm going to try and do the first 4 prompts, which are 5-star prediction, judge a book by its cover, a book containing representation, and then outside comfort zone. And then the 5th one, which is a poll pick, I'm going to read the books I want to for those ones, and then the books that I've got on the list that I've got left, I will then do a poll and people can select for me. So I have got, if I can find them, The Idea of You by Robin Lee. This was nominated in 2017. I don't know what you won in these years. I didn't write that down. So that was nominated. Whether it won, I don't know. Then in 2018, Amal Unbound. So that's by Aisha Saeed. Then I am going to be reading The Bookwoman of Troublesome Creek, which again was nominated, or not again, was nominated in 2019. This one works really well because I'm going to be buddy reading this in January with Danielle at Bookcara. She asked some of us to suggest books for her. I suggested this one because we both wanted to read it. It was on our Goodreads list, and it actually fits into the readathon, which I didn't know, so I'm made up with that. The next one is a non-fiction. This was again nominated in 2019. It's Burnout by Emily and Amelia Negoski. It says the secret to solving the stress cycle, which I desperately need. So I am looking forward to that one, and I'm glad I've got a non-fiction on there. Actually, I've got 2 non-fictions on here. The next one is The Midnight Library by Haig. Loads of people have been telling me to read this. I've had this on there for a while. I am pretty sure that Kevin suggested this for me in my booktubers pick my reads for 12 months. So if I get this one, then I get to tick this off for Kevin, so I'll be made up. I think I've read 3 or 4 of those. This will be the 4th, maybe 3rd one off that list. That's why I've not done one of those, you know, the Twitter things where they say get people to pick 12 books for the next 12 months. I haven't joined in on that, even though I was tempted, because I've already got when I did my booktube anniversary video, when I asked people to pick books for me, I've already got 12 that I need to get through. So if I had another 12 in, too much pressure. Then there's Green Lights by Matthew McConaughey, which I'll put up here. That's the other non-fiction. I think that's like a memoir / autobiography type book. I've got that on Audible, and I need to read more of my Audible books and my Kindle books this year. Hopefully if I get more into that, I will enjoy reading those more, because I still prefer physical books. Then I have got The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This has been on multiple ones of my Scrabble TBR and I've never got through it, so I'm determined. This was nominated in 2020, as was The Midnight Library and Green Lights. And then finally for this year, I've got The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, so I want to read that one. So yeah, they are for the Goodreads Choice Awards. While I'm doing this, I wanted to mention my book haul that I got for Christmas. I didn't get books off family. I think people tend to stay away from it because I think they're worried that they're in danger of picking something I've already got. That did actually happen one year where I was in the middle of an audio book, and then my dad bought me a book that I was already in the middle of, so I quickly stopped the audio book and read the physical book because he got me the hardback, and it was a lovely idea. But I think that's why people stay away from it. But I did get 5 books from booktube friends, so I want to mention those now. So The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood was from the lovely Sam at Griff Reads. I got Rainbow Grey by Laura Ellen Anderson by the lovely Charlotte from Clumsy Charlotte channel. I got Amal Unbound. Let me just get it out of my pile. This was from Mel at a book fiend named Mel. And I got 2 books off Ellie from Earl Grey Books. Just let me put this down. I got Starfell by Dominique Valent. And I got The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay, because she said those 2 are her favourites that she's read recently. So I just want to say a massive thank you to all of those people for sending me those books. It was so lovely to get books at Christmas. I haven't read any of those, so that's great. A couple were off my wish list, a couple were just sent to me because those people loved them, and that was great because I haven't read any of them, so made up. Also quickly, I wanted to unbox my Tea Time Bookshop box that came. I didn't want to receive it and then not do the video because they sent me this for free, and I would hate for them to think that I'd just took it and not done anything with it. So you can get this, it saves the planet, it's eco packaging, you're basically saving books. I've done one of these before, so go and check that video out as well. But they send you a book and some bookish treats. So I'd suggest it. They do teas and coffees, I think, but also they do hot chocolate, and that's the one I pick because I drink so much tea anyway. I don't drink coffee because I don't like the smell. So yeah, 2 Aero hot chocolates, which I can now use because I wanted to save them for this. Some chocolate and vanilla little biscuits. So very nice. And then the book that I've received, there was postcards that you get in there. So this one says, "A writer only begins a book, a reader finishes it," by Samuel Johnson. Just a little postcard that you could send if you wanted to. Now the book this time is called Snakeskins. It seems like it's a science fiction book. I don't really read that much science fiction. However, when I read it, it reminded me a little bit of Scythe when I picked that up, and I was a bit unsure. So I'm wondering whether this might be for me. It's by Tim Major. It isn't quite an unusual cover. It said, "Caitlin Hext's first shedding ceremony is imminent, but she's far from prepared to produce a snakeskin clone. When her skin fails to turn to dust as expected, she must decide whether she wishes the newcomer alive or dead. The Hext family may be of central importance to the survival of charmers, people with the inexplicable power to produce duplicates every 7 years. In parallel with reporter Jerry Chaffick and government aide Russell Handler, Caitlin must prevent the Great British Prosperity Party from establishing a corrupt new world order." Snakeskins is a science fiction thriller, which is why I was a bit like, examining the repercussions of rejuvenation and cloning on individuals' sense of identity and on a wider society, with the tone of classic John Wyndham stories and the multi-strand storytelling style of modern TV series such as Channel 4's Humans. So yeah, we'll see is what I'm saying about that one, but it's a nice box to get. Like I say, you get the treats and you get the book, and I can't remember the price, it's been a while since I've looked, but compared to others, it's not an extortionate price, I don't think, in my opinion. So definitely go and check out the Tea Time Bookshop if you're interested, and you also get a bookmark. So I've got one that says "Just One More Chapter." It's the light that's shining, there you go. And then the Tea Time Bookshop logo on the back there. So yeah, by all means go and check that out. I'll link Tea Time Bookshop in my description, and if I remember I will link my other video there as well. So that's that one. While I'm also on here, I'm going to mention Eurovisionathon book club. I just need to do this all in one video because there's no way I can do like 4 or 5 different videos with the TBR in, my unhaul, my boxing. I'm just not going to get a chance before the new year, and I want to start the new year afresh and really commit to it then. So yeah, the Eurovisionathon book club, the pick for January is Malta. I must add here that the December book that we picked was supposed to be for Finland, and then because it had Lapland in it, we thought, great, a lovely Christmassy book. And then it turns out that Lapland can cover Sweden as well, and that one in fact covers Sweden. So it doesn't mention Sweden a lot in there, so it quite easily could be Finland. So yeah, we're going to just move on. A lot of us read the book, had mixed feelings about it. So if you want to find out what we thought, go on the Discord link or ask me for the Discord link. I'll send it to you, and go on there and have a look what people thought. I do want in the new year to do a video about what I've thought about the 6 books that we've read so far in Eurovisionathon and maybe rank them. So that's an option. But like I say, January Eurovisionathon, the choice is for Malta. And this time I did the usual, asked for suggestions, put the poll up. The poll finished, was it earlier today or in the middle of the night or something? And the one that was selected was The September Girls by Maureen Lee. I'll put a little picture up here. For what I could tell about it, this one's a Liverpool saga. It's set in the 1920s to begin with. It's 2 women from 2 different backgrounds who are thrown together. They both give birth at the same time, and then it talks about their relationship works even though they're from different backgrounds, but the same can't be said for their children that they give birth to. and then it moves forward in time to Cara and Sybil, who were obviously their daughters. 19 years later it's talking about, and in the Second World War. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, that sounds like it could be, you know, interesting. I haven't really read that many Liverpool sagas. I know they're quite popular in the library that I work at. A lot of the people we pick our home delivery service books for, the older people we pick for, like the Liverpool sagas a lot. So it will be good to read one to get a feel for what they're like. So yeah, the September Girls by Maureen Lee, and by all means come and join us. Check out the Eurovisionathon Twitter page, check out the hashtag Eurovisionathon, because you'll see about the readathon and what that is. The readathon starts again on the 16th of April this year and runs for the whole month till the end of May, when Eurovision Song Contest is on telly. It finishes, I think last time I finished it dead on the time, so I think it started at 7 p.m. my time. And so that's when it cut off. You couldn't read any more books after that time. But the premise is just the 40 odd countries that are in Eurovision. You read as many of the different countries as you can, books for each country. You get points based on what the countries get in the Eurovision Song Contest final. The first year that I did Eurovisionathon, we did it where, because there wasn't going to be an actual Eurovision Song Contest because of COVID, we just looked at a previous scoreboard from Eurovision, and you got the points as you went along based on what they'd won at Eurovision. Whereas when the actual contest is on, you don't know what they're going to get, so you just read as many books as you can. You can look at betting odds and see what the bookies think are going to be the favourites, and you can go off past years, or you can listen to the songs and see which you think are best. But you will never know until Eurovision night what your score is, because you only get what the countries score. And obviously in that last week before the Eurovision Song Contest, some of the countries get kicked out in the semi-finals, so then you might have read a book and you get no points for it because it's not in the actual final. So it is quite exciting, especially it happening that way, because you don't find out till the night when the votes come in how you did. So last year we had somebody read all of the countries, so or at least all of the countries that ended up in the final. So we knew that person was going to win because they just got all the points. But it worked really well. Everybody loved it. They loved having the leaderboard at the end. And so yeah, congratulations to Michelle, who won last year. And I'm looking forward to it this year. The countdown that we do on Twitter, where we each day leading up to the Eurovisionathon, I list a country and give some suggestions of what people like to read, and then other people give suggestions for books they've read for that country, and that starts mid-March time. So keep an eye on Twitter. There will be a daily countdown then till the start of the readathon. So yeah, that's for anybody who doesn't know what it is. So was there anything else I wanted to say? I did about my new reading diary. I did what I'm currently reading. Did I tell you what I'm currently? Oh yes, Christmas Shopaholic. Goodreads Choice Readathon, my picks for that. I did my unboxing at the Tea Time Bookshop. I did my haul of what the lovely people gave me for Christmas. The Eurovisionathon, January pick, Malta. And finally, I am in an online book club. This is one I treated myself to with like a McDonald's offer for when they did the Monopoly thing. I can't remember where I bought it from. Something like buyagift.com or one of them, and it was a 3-month online book club. It's called How Novel, and not only do you get to send the book for these 3 months, but then there's an online discussion. You read it in time for that. The first book, I was at the last minute and didn't get the book read in time, so I thought I can't go on now because I haven't read the ending and it'll be spoiled, so I couldn't make that one. The second one, I was going out for a meal for my sister's birthday, so I couldn't join in on that one. This one I do want to read in time, and it's mid-month, so it's The Vanished Bride by Ellis, but obviously because I'm taking part in the Goodreads Choice Readathon, I'm prioritising those books, and I'm not sure about this one. So I think what I might try and do, in order to just get because this is my last month being part of it unless I pay for it again, if I don't get the use of this online video call that they do, I will never have experienced that. So I really want to. So what I might do is, when I find out the date that the thing's happening, I'm going to split out the pages across the month, or I think it might be in 2 weeks time, maybe it's like the 14th or 15th. It's mid-month that they do the actual online call, I think I'll split it off into pages per day, and then I'll make sure I do it, because I do that with buddy reads and that works quite well sometimes. Yeah, so buddy reads, if you want to do any buddy reads together, let me know and I'll see what I can fit in. But obviously I'm not trying to add too many books in, so it'd have to be something that is on my shelves that I wanted to read for a while. A lot of these ones are ones, particularly on this bottom shelf, these are ones that I particularly want to read. So we've got Contacts by Mark Watson, No Such Thing as Perfect by Emma Hughes, Jeffrey Archer, Hidden in Plain Sight, that's the second in a series, Freckles by Cecilia Ahern, Do Something for Nothing, that's a non-fiction about, you know, a man who does haircuts for people who are homeless, and then he's trying to encourage people to do something for nothing for other people, which I think is a lovely idea. The Case of the Imaginary Detective is a Karen Joy Howard book. She wrote the Jane Austen book club, and we are all completely beside ourselves. I love both of those books, so I want to try that one. Holly Willoughby Reflections, I like Holly Willoughby, I want to give that a go. It needs to be back at the library in the new year, so I need to do that before I go back. Are We Having Fun by Lucy Mangan, Life in Pieces by Donald Porter, Understanding Hoarding, Reclaim Your Space in Your Life. I'm obsessed with decluttering. I hope to one day start my own decluttering business, so that's why I've got that one on there. Enid Blyton and Her Enchantment with Dorset, that's a non-fiction obviously. The Book Club by CJ Cooper, The Soundtrack to My Life by Dermot O'Leary. I hope you can hear this when I'm turning the wrong way. The Marlowe Murder Club by Robert Thorogood. He wrote the books for the Death in Paradise, you know, the television series. He wrote the books that those series are based on. This Is Not a Love Story by Mary Hargraves. The Downhill Hiking Club by Dom Jolly. That's a sore point. I booked to go and see Dom Jolly in the Parr Hall in Warrington for Andy's birthday in October. It got cancelled. We never got told why. It didn't seem like it was to do with COVID, because he was actually booked to then go somewhere else on that day. It was a bit annoying. I bought the book hoping that I could get it signed. I still want to read the book, but it's a bit tainted now. The Museum of Heartbreak by Meg Leader, The Authenticity Project by Claire Pooley, The 52 Seductions by Betty Herbert, Committed by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the one who did Eat, Pray, Love. The Dinner Lady Detectives by Hannah Hendy. That was one that I bought recently from Waterstones, because I thought that ended a bit Thursday Murder Club-ish, but with dinner ladies. The Insomniac Society, I really fancy, by Gabrielle Levy. Winter by Marissa Meyer. I'm determined to finish off that series. The Helpline by Catherine Collette. Somewhere Close to Happy by Leah Louise. And Frankenstuttskin by Joseph Coelho. So those are ones that I really want to read. If there's any on there that you fancy buddy reading with me, by all means let me know. As you know, I was in the middle of the Scythe series. I joined in Becca Fowle, Ashley from Media Addiction, and Rachel in the read along, but the third one I just didn't get round to. And now Mel from A Book Theme Named Mel, Ellie from Earl Grey Books, and Lana are all doing a read along themselves, and that for the Last to Read book club. And March is the date that they're reading that final book, so I'm going to join in that read along as well, just to read that third book. I hope I don't forget too much what's happened, but Scythe and Thunderhead were so, I think they'll stick in my mind. They were so shocking in parts that I don't think there's any danger of me forgetting. So yeah, that's where we're up to with that. So I hope this was okay. I wanted to just show my face again and say I'm still okay. I'm still doing all right. I'm tired. I'm just hoping for new challenges. Not challenges as in bad things, but trying to go outside my comfort zone a little bit in the new year, which is why I need to finally do some of my own sprints on this channel. So sometime next year, even if it's in time for Eurovisionathon, I will attempt to do at least one set of sprints on my channel just to see if I like it. But I am appreciative of the people who do invite me on when I can go on. Obviously, I've got Sophie, so childcare sometimes, that's the reason I can't go on. But, you know, I've been on Mel and Ellie's channels doing those sprints before now, and that's been really enjoyable. Very kindly, Sam and Danielle from Bookcara have both said at points that if I decide to do them on my channel, they will support in that, as have Mel and Ellie. So maybe someday, there you go. So we'll see what happens to the channel. We'll see what happens in the new year life-wise. I will keep you updated. I don't want to give up on the channel. I've been on it a year, I've enjoyed it, but sometimes recently I've just been losing the motivation, and it's why I've not been on here for 4 weeks, because I don't want to push myself to the point where I think I'm not doing it anymore, because I love the community. I've made some great friends, but even if I did stop making videos, the friendships wouldn't go. I still talk to people through Twitter, I still go on people's sprints on their channels. Um, just to say as well that if I pop in your sprints and I say hello and then I disappear and I don't say anything again, it will be because I'm doing bedtime or something's come up. It won't be because I'm just saying I'm there and then I'm not. You know, there will be a reason for it, so don't be offended if I disappear. It's not that I haven't enjoyed your sprints, it's just that I've got other things going on. So thank you for listening, especially if you've got this far, and I will speak soon. Have a lovely end of the year and hopefully a really nice start to the new year. See you in 2022. Bye.